So the year is coming to an end, and I want to speak about how you need to recharge and use this time to realign. Because it's just so easy to, go for the holidays, come back, and just continue with the same old grind. But if you never take a second to step back and look at things from, a higher altitude, you'll end up repeating the same year all over again, making maybe some minor adjustments, but personally, I don't think that's good enough. So in this video, let's talk about how I recommend you take some time off. And this is mainly based on what I usually do and what I see others doing successfully over the years. And we're not talking about taking 2 weeks and having a non-speaking sort of meditation retreat or something like that, but about things you can do in a few days at home or disconnected, and that I think will really help you not just recharge for the new year, but also think, what would you like to do? I'm Ben-Yosef. I help tech executives create teams worth leading because life is too short to lead average teams. And this is, I think, a big part of that. How do you ensure that what you're doing is the best use of your precious life? How do you ensure that what you're doing, going ahead, is leading people as you ought to be? Now, my major thought is that we have to take some time to think. We have to create space and create room for innovation, for thinking about things that are not just, right ahead of us, but think about things a bit more disconnectedly from the day-to-day. If you've been following my stuff, I've written and recorded videos about the concepts of intermissions, innovation weeks, which is about how do we unlock creativity at an organizational level? How do you make your engineer organization be so creative regularly, habitually, as opposed to locking their creativity in hackathons once a year? The same, I think, should be applied to how you work. Now, I know that most people, most tech executives, don't have the freedom I have, for example, as an independent, to take a week every quarter and think about what I want to do. However, you don't necessarily have to do that. At least you need to take some time and think about things when you're not in the rush of things. You're not in the trenches, you don't have a big release, you don't have all of the daily problems to think about. You disengage for a bit. And if you do that, I promise you that even taking a few days to disconnect, and the holidays should help you do that either way. The question is how well you do that will help you ensure that the next year will be better, will be more aligned with what you need to do, be it because you need to make some drastic changes or you just need to have a few small upgrades. My trick, do nothing. Well, I don't mean nothing. Don't just lie in bed all day unless that's really what you want to do. But do nothing that's work-related for a bit. I so much enjoy working with people who also have other things in life that aren't just work. If you have your family, if you have your hobbies, if you read, if you play an instrument, if you go on hikes, I don't care. Take a day at least to, first of all, just entirely disconnect. Don't think about work. Do something else that makes you feel good, that keeps you interested, keeps you motivated. Most of the people I know, they have this momentum going on of being good at their jobs and doing them. However, if you fill the day for a second with other things that give you a good feeling, it will make it easier to disengage from the day-to-day and not get sucked into it and think about what actually fulfills you, what you'd actually like to keep doing. We do something else that feels good so that we are not keeping up with, our addiction of getting things done in the work, but we disengage for a second before we have to dive right back in a bit. After you've disengaged for a day or two, depending on how much time you've got, what I then like to do, and this is something that I ask my clients regularly, think about when you're looking ahead for the beginning of the new year, are you in general excited or are you a bit depressed? Are you energized and wanting to get started, to get right back into it? Or are you dejected or worried or stressed about all the things you have to do? Do you want to get back because you're stressed about all the things? Or do you want to go back because you genuinely want to? That's the first step of alignment, ensuring that what you're doing, you're actually enjoying, not just doing it out of pure momentum. but something that you're actively choosing to do every day that you're coming to work. You're still choosing to continue on this path. So ensure that that path still makes sense for you. And having disengaged for a couple of days should help you be more connected to your real feelings. Are you excited still about this thing, or has it run its course for you? Maybe you need to change something up, be it changing the work entirely, changing how you speak at work, who you work with, what your focus is, your goals, etc. So that what you end up doing, it will not be fun in every single second of the day throughout the year, but it should be something that you actually enjoy and look forward to. Something that as a whole makes you feel better, fulfills you, not something that you just grind through. And my last little trick to disengage and think about things and re-energize myself is that for years now, over a decade, I write these end-of-year summaries. I do them online on my computer. I have the Day One journaling app, which I really like, and I write a bunch of things, whatever comes up to mind when it comes to work, but also health, hobbies, my kids, the family, travel, what I'm fearing, what I'm looking forward to. I have this huge brain dump that can be pages long. And if you're not a writing person, you can just write it in bullets. You can transcribe things, record audio, record a video on your phone, do something, and just have this stream of consciousness summary of the year. And then after you've taken those 20 minutes, go over your previous ones. And this is, if you're just starting out, you're just going to have to rewatch what you just did and think about that. But I also skim through all of my past ones. I've got stacks of notebooks. I've got a bunch of journaling entries on Day One, which I've been journaling in daily. Like I've got a streak going on there for years now. And I skim things, I look for things, I might search a few keywords just to see what did I think about that project or about that client a year ago, that sort of stuff. And it helps me realign, it helps me see what is changing on this grander scale, not about, it's so funny that you look at things from 2 years ago and you see what was your top of mind and realize, oh, that ended up being like nothing, and I was just so scared about it. And just remember how horrible COVID was. And now it feels so distant, and people around us are getting COVID and we're like, yeah, okay, see you tomorrow. Things change. And having this helps me put things into the right scale. So I really recommend you start doing that. Write a bit about your goals, what you want to do, what you feel energized about, what you feel dejected about, what you want to do, what you no longer want to do. And have that, and we're spending 2 to 3 days that you're also going to spend anyway with your family, I'm hoping. And we're just being a bit more deliberate in how we look forward at things, so that when you get back into it, you're not just doing it, out of pure momentum. For you in your life, you're it. You don't have anyone else to tell you what you need to be doing. You don't have anyone else to plan the path for you. Even if you find a coach, even if you have a partner, it's still up to you to decide what you want to do, how you want to fulfill yourself, whether you're doing things in life that actually make you feel proud, that help you grow or not. You have a lot more freedom and agency, even if the market isn't terrific, even if things aren't perfect. You can do so many things if you decide to. And that's what I think should be your takeaway. If you're looking to get into 2025 more energized and aligned with what you really ought to be doing, not wasting your time, take these few days to think about what you want to do and have fun and disconnect from work. So when you get back to it, you're doing things because you know what is the right direction. You're not just still cruising along. You're not on autopilot. You're in control of your life, of your career, and you're being deliberate. Wishing you an amazing new year, and I'm hoping that next one, you're also going to review this, do the same thing, and keep improving. If you like this and if you want to read more or learn more about intermissions in general, I'll link to it somewhere here. And I think that's related to unlocking your team's potential. That's it. Have an amazing year.